Hi everyone, Jeff Williams here from Action Coach, just helping you to grow your business smarter. And today, I'm going to want to help you to understand how to stop getting interruptions from your team, which takes you away from the work you're doing. And I'm going to give you one really good tip, one good strategy to stop that from happening in your business. So, how do you stop getting interruptions from your team? The team are always often asking you, have you got a minute? Popping the head around the corner in your office. Have you got a minute? You're in the middle of doing something, maybe on the shop floor or something within your office, and you start for them and says, have you got a minute? Can you help me with something? Well, we know it's more than a minute usually, isn't it, when they ask for a minute, because it normally takes 2 or 3 minutes for them to explain what they want to happen, what they want help with, and then you spend 2 or 3 minutes, sometimes maybe even 10 minutes, taking them aside and showing them exactly how to do it, and then you start to dispense a little bit more of your knowledge to them. And then you then add on to that the time it takes for you to remember what you're doing before they interrupted you, and to get back on track with what it is that you're doing. So what can we do to stop that from happening? Well, I'm going to share this really simple tip to help you to stop it. It's as easy as ABC. The first thing you need to do is ask yourself, why do they keep interrupting you? Why are your team members interrupting you at all times? You know, the answer to that is that you've trained them to do that. Now, you're probably thinking, no, I haven't. I don't want them to interrupt me. I'd rather they got on with their work and don't have to do it themselves. But the truth is you train them to do that usually. You see, here's a litmus test to see whether or not you train them. Next time somebody comes up to you and asks, have you got a minute? And you say, yeah, and they ask you a question. If you start to answer, you've trained them. You've trained your team that you have all the answers. And if they need an answer to anything, you're the font of all knowledge. So they'll keep coming to you and they'll keep interrupting you, taking you out of your track of what you're doing, stopping you from focusing on what you need to be focusing on to grow your business, and getting you to a great degree actually to be doing their job for them. So here's an idea that's going to stop your team members from interrupting you, and a way in which you can train your team members to find the answer themselves. Next time somebody comes to you and says, have you got a minute? And you say, yeah, and they ask you a question, don't give them an answer. Stop. Don't give them an answer. You may know the solution to the problem. You may be dying to give them the answer. Usually you're dying to give them the answer because you're thinking, well, it'll be quicker. They can just get on with the job. Here's a better solution. Do this. Just say to them, do you know what? I've got a few ideas rolling around in my head at the moment, actually, for that. But what do you think? Tell you what, come up with 3 ideas that you think would work to solve this problem. Come up with 3 ideas. Now, why 3 ideas? Well, it's the easiest way for us to think. You see, if we have one idea, it's probably the instant idea that was in their head. They don't think it's right. It probably isn't the right solution to the problem. When they get to the second idea, now their creative juices are really starting to work, and they're starting to think about the problem for themselves. And when they get to the third idea, this is when they really start to get really into problem solving mode and start to think about how they can solve this problem. Get them to come back to you with those 3 ideas. Now, usually, as I say, the first idea probably isn't ideal. The second or the third idea is going to be the right idea. And you're going to send them away and say, look, well, give that a try. Now, that's really going to help your team member to start to think in solution mode. Now you're training them to find the answers for themselves rather than to come to you for answers all the time. You're really helping them to come up with some great solutions in your business. And this is a true thing in your business. You need to remember that your team grow your business, you don't. So what you want to do is to give them the opportunity to build the solutions in your business, usually better solutions than the ones that you could have come up with. And you know, they're better also, these solutions, because they now own this solution. It's something they've thought of. So get them to go away and think about it themselves. Eventually, you're going to get to a stage where they're going to come to you with a question, and you're going to say to them, look, I trust the solutions you've come up with in the past. Go away, think of 3 ideas, pick the best one. I absolutely will back you in what you do, because I know you're probably going to come up with the best solution for the business. In fact, what's happened here is you've trained your teams members to think for themselves and stop coming to you for all the answers. And what will happen at some point is they'll stop coming to you for the answers. They'll think for themselves, A, B, or C, which one should I do? They'll come up with a solution, and it will, generally speaking, work in the business. So a really simple solution to stop you being interrupted by your team members, allowing you to focus your time on the key things for your business. Now, you remember that I always tell you that there are only 2 things that you should be doing as a business owner. One is getting customers, and the second one is keeping customers. Getting customers and keeping customers profitably. That's where your thoughts should be. The actual operation of the business, get your team to think about it. And the way you do that is don't give answers to your team. Ask them for solutions instead. It's as easy as ABC. Hope that's been useful for you. If you got value from this and you're watching on LinkedIn and we're not connected yet, I'm going to ask you to connect with me. If you're watching it on Facebook, just click live or replay, whether you've watched this live or replay. I'd love to hear your comments on there. And if you're watching on YouTube and you haven't subscribed yet, I'm going to ask you please to subscribe. Click on the subscribe button and a little bell so you never miss another video you need to succeed in business. See you on the next session.